In 2010, shortly after I gained some traction on YouTube with Charlie Veach and the Everything Is OK series, I was cycling down the Edgware Road and I got stopped by an officer on a bike for allegedly crossing on a red light. I had a camera in my pocket and thought it was a good opportunity to take it out and play the questions game. The first person to answer the question loses. Here is the footage with the officer's face blurred and his name removed.
You?
Why don't you tell me?
Well, you don't tell me.
Do I am obliged to answer that question?
Sorry?
Am I obliged to answer that question?
Right. You found a stop at the red traffic lights.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying, that's what I saw.
Okay.
So, what do you have to say about that?
I remain silent. I've been advised by my lawyer to remain silent.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Where's he then?
I don't know where he is. Why should I know where he is?
So, how can you tell you to remain silent?
That's what he tells me to do when police speak to me.
You've been stopped a lot of times then.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you said that you're...
I'm a student of the law myself.
Okay. So why shouldn't we give you a ticket now then?
As I said to you, it's my legal advice is given to me not to answer questions. Am I obliged to answer those questions?
Entirely up to you.
Pardon?
Entirely up to you.
So I'm not obliged to. By the way, just so you know, I will not be accepting any paperwork today.
Okay.
Okay?
You refuse to take it, therefore I'll...
No. I'm refusing to take the paperwork. You can write it out if you want, but I won't take it, that's all.
Right, so how are you expected to pay the fine?
No idea. Am I obliged to take your paperwork?
You're failing to take the paperwork, you're failing to pay the fine.
No. I'm not talking about paying the fine. I'm saying to take the paperwork. Am I obliged to take the paperwork?
Of course you are.
Am I under what law am I obliged to take the paperwork?
If you don't take the paperwork, how are you going to pay the fine?
You can put it through the system. It's up to you. I'm not obliged to take anything, and I'm not going to take anything.
Right, you got any details on you?
Do I need to give you my details?
No, you need to provide your details.
Under what law am I to provide my details?
That I'm issuing you a ticket.
No. What's the law that requires me to provide you my details?
Under ID cop plan, if you fail to produce your documents, I can arrest you.
My documents?
Yes.
I'm a cyclist. I'm not a driver.
Okay. You don't have a passport.
I'm a cyclist. I don't.
Who you are?
No.
Right. So how can I issue a ticket then?
I have no idea. I suggest that you just let me get on with going to get my child from school.
Failing to provide the details.
You'll arrest me for failing to ID. Under what law are you going to arrest me?
I've already told you.
What law? Go on.
Under what law?
Yes, under what law?
Under ID cop plan.
ID cop plan, what's that? Tell me what Section 24 of PACE, right? Can you tell me what the wording is, please?
The surname is.
Can you tell me what the wording is, please?
The surname is.
Can you tell me what the wording is, please?
Surname, sir.
Before I give you my details, can you tell me what the details of that law is?
You're obliged to give me your details for me to issue a ticket.
Can you tell me what the exact wording of the law is?
I don't know exactly.
Well, you need to in order to. So you're telling me you don't need to know what the law is?
Turn that off.
No, I don't want to turn it off.
Okay.
It's my right to carry it with me and to film this.
Really?
To make sure for my own protection and for yours.
Well, I've got nothing to worry about then.
Good, fantastic.
If you fail to produce your documents,
I'm not driving a car.
I've got no further option but to arrest you.
So is that what you're saying? You're going to arrest me?
If you don't produce, tell me who you are.
Okay, I want to know. Are you going to arrest me?
If you do not tell me who you are or where you live,
yes.
I'm afraid to do that then.
No, I didn't say that. I said, are you going to arrest me if I don't do that?
Tell me who you are and where you live.
Are you going to arrest me if I don't do that?
Yes.
You're definitely going to arrest me if I don't do that. Right. Can you confirm for the camera that you do not need to know the actual law in order to do this? In order to force me to do something, you need to tell me what the wording of the law is so that I'm aware of it. Is that not the case?
Right,
otherwise it's fraudulent.
You're requested to produce your details to me.
Is it a request or an order?
It's a request.
Okay, so a request I can decline, can I not?
No, because I'm issuing you a ticket.
Well, that's an order.
Okay, then it's an order.
Okay, so you're saying it's an order.
Yeah.
So you need to, in order to make an order, am I not correct in saying that you need to be able to quote me what the actual law is?
No.
So you're just saying that there is a law, and but you don't know what the word is, because how am I meant to know what I'm meant to be doing? Can you not touch me? I'm not touching you. Just touch the camera. You tried to catch the camera, okay? Don't you dare do that.
As you can see, at the end of the conversation, the officer got so frustrated He lunged for my camera and I rode away in disgust. At the time, I thought I'd been very clever to have done this, and it would make good footage. I was in two minds whether to upload it. I spoke to a friend who persuaded me to put it up, and it went viral, getting 1 million hits in 3 days. A few days after releasing it, the officer in question came to my home in broad daylight with a sergeant friend, forced his way into my home, and after quite a struggle on my part, which resulted in a broken dining table, and with the help of 8 other backup officers, arrested me, questioned me, and held me overnight, and released me without charge. When the other backup officers turned up, they pushed through the front door, breaking the lock and hurting my 13-year-old daughter, who was standing behind the door and who witnessed the whole incident. I got footage of the arrest, and all my legal friends at the time told me I had a clear-cut case and could get at least £25,000 in compensation. I decided against complaining, took the film off my channel and carried on with my life. I've been in and out of 12-step fellowships for many years, and I recently did what is known as the 4th step inventory. It entails looking back at your life and taking what they call a moral inventory. Then step 9 suggests that we make amends where possible. So this video is my attempt at making amends to the man involved, as well as sharing my new perspective on the incident. To my knowledge, he is no longer in the police force. I realised recently that had I have just admitted I cycled through a red light, the worst thing that could have happened was a £30 fine and a telling off. Instead, I got out my camera, which in itself was quite provocative. I proceeded to ask the officer some clever questions, and he was baffled. He got so frustrated that he lunged for the camera and I cycled off. Had I have left it at that, the officer involved would never have found me, and that would have been the end of the matter. But because I put it up online, he was able to identify who I was and find out my address and come round and arrest me. So recently I asked myself, why did I put it up online? I had to conclude that it was pure ego. I put it up because I thought it would make me look good and him and the police look bad. The irony is that it had the most thumbs down of any film I'd ever posted, and I would estimate that 25% of the comments took the officer's side and were not impressed by my antics. The ego is a very dangerous thing if untamed, and very few of us are able to tame it or even bother trying to. If I would have blurred his face, at least it could have been argued that I was demonstrating how to ask police questions, but even that isn't helpful because it just got his back up. So I did it to create an impression about something that isn't even real, the character that I show to the world. In the end, my daughter was traumatized and we were left with a broken dining room table and had to fix our lock at our own expense, instead of what at most would have been a £30 fine or even just a warning if I was apologetic. So I apologised to the officer involved, specifically for uploading the video and embarrassing him in front of his colleagues, friends and family. I know loads of officers who saw it and found it amusing. It's not his fault that he didn't know the law. The law is deliberately created to be ambiguous so that it gives the system the best chance of winning. And he was actually stopping me because he felt what I did was dangerous. It's surely not one of the worst things a policeman can do. And although it was not great that he lunged for the camera, there was no reason to put his face up on the video, just to get hits and admiration. An old friend called me the other day, telling me of a recent incident he had with the police, whereby they pulled him over and accused him of not wearing a seatbelt. They asked him to move to a side road, and he got his camera out and started asking them questions. He got the inspiration to do so from my videos. He said things like, "Am I obliged to move to a side road?" and continued challenging the officers. They ended up pulling him out of the car, breaking a key, and prosecuting him for the seatbelt and obstructing an officer. I told him that it really isn't worth getting belligerent, especially in a seatbelt case. It was his ego that got him to do what he did, and one ego attracts another, and you can rarely win an ego battle with a police officer. So watch that ego of yours before it causes you damage or even kills you. In other words, do not try this at home. And I realised that to a certain extent, subconsciously, even this video itself is motivated by ego.